Hello. We had a lot of feedback from the last video on ITC and recording settings and stuff, and I've had people saying to me, "Oh, thanks very much. You're so knowledgeable," and all the rest. Please don't thank me, because at the end of the day, I get my information from somewhere else. Somebody else that's other people have done the research in that. And, as I discover in the past when I watched Ghost Hunters, the two main captures with paranormal evidence is visuals and audio. And audio is most likely going to be the biggest chances of paranormal activity that you're going to capture. But it's very, very strange, and you'll find this, that when ghost hunters go out, they have their recorder. Don't buy this recorder, actually. It's a bad example, but it's the recorder I have in front of me here. They go out to a location, they say, "Oh, we're doing EVP, folks," and then they press record and they say, "Tell us what your name is." Pause for 20 seconds. "Did you die here?" Pause for 20 seconds. Questions like that, 20 seconds. It's recommended that they keep these sessions short. And I've done that because everybody's doing that. It was doing that. And then I says, hold on a wee second. We're doing an EVP. It doesn't make any sense to me, actually. I'm baffled. Right, they take out the recorder, they ask the questions. Yes, they will further down the investigation, they'll do some calling out, and they won't have the recorder on. Should they not have the recorder on while they're calling out as well? I don't know. But I began questioning things like that. Now, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the information I was getting off paranormal ghost hunters that go out every couple of nights to abandoned places and stuff like that. But lately I've been dividing up the different parts of the paranormal and putting ITC and EVP in a separate box. Now, a while back I came across a new channel, a person I didn't know about, called Anabela Cardoso. And it's a channel that's only got, at this moment in time, it's only got 444 subscribers, I think. And 7 videos, I think. But those 7 videos are some of the most important videos that I've ever watched in regard to ITC and the methods and stuff like that. And I just wanted to come on and show you that she's actually wrote some books. And I've got 3 books here. I'm not very good at reading, but in order to learn, I've had to go beyond YouTube videos. So we got, I think this is the latest book. Don't know when it was published, but I think it's their newest, or 2070. I think this is the latest book. That's Electronic Contact with the Dead. What do the voices tell us? We're only at the start of that book. I actually haven't read any of the other books. I'm just going to show you We also have the ITC journals, and we've one here from 25th of April 2006, and this is Marcello Bacci. Now, Marcello Bacci was a great influence in me going into ITC and that. Unfortunately, getting information from Marcello Bacci is really, really difficult because he's Italian, and most of his video captures that you'll see on YouTube, he's talking in Italian and that, so it's very, very difficult. But he was one of these extremely great ITC researchers. I've got another one. I don't even know this person, so it's just to get another perspective on things. EVP Lab 1.0. My failure and success in recording electronic voice phenomenon by John Goober, PhD. So there is that one. They're all available on Amazon. There's that one. But I think I started on what does the voices tell us, but I think I might hold back on this one and go for electronic voices, contact with another dimension. I think I might start with this one. I'm not a brilliant reader, but this is going to give me more information rather than depending on YouTube videos, because you put a search in on YouTube about ITC research, and it's a complete maze of good and bad, you know. So that's my latest purchase, and just for an example, this electronic voices contact other dimension. Oh, and by the way, I will put a link in the description to Anabela Cardoso's channel. Very down to earth videos to talk about ITC and the role of background audio support and stuff like that. So we're going through the contents here. Chapter 1, what is ITC? Chapter 2, brief historical survey. 3, first experiences. Chapter 4, more extensive personal experiences and contact with Rio de Tempo. Chapter 5, identification of Rio de Tempo station. Chapter 6, content of the communications. Chapter 7, some similar concepts and special features that occur in Rio de Tempos and other ITC communicators. Chapter 8, the bridge, the tower, the group soul, and the extraordinary capacities of the next world. Chapter 9, the founding of the ITC journal, which is this is one of the ITC journals right here. Chapter 10, the role of the experimenter, which is apparently is very important. The person that's doing the EVP recording session, they're just as much a part of it as anything else. Chapter 11, summary of the techniques used in ITC. Chapter 12, characteristics of the voices. And chapter 13, the future. Yeah, That is basically it. So, I have a lot to go through by going through that, and me even reading out the contents, it was, you can see how difficult it I have in reading. I have a bit of dyslexia and stuff, so um, it's gonna be well. I have actually got more books. Uh, what is a Ghost by Richard? What is a Ghost by Richard Felix? I got that one. Got The Haunting of Sharon Rectory, a place that I investigated twice, and that's by Emma Louise Tully, the person that I interviewed on one of the investigations. I think was the first one. What else have we got? Sligo folk tales. So you'll have more sort of elemental and fairy stuff on that. And of course, you have the old reliables, which, in the UK and Ireland, you'll get your Haunted Derry, Haunted Donegal, Haunted London, Haunted whatever. And a book I got in the crystal shop, which I got for £4. Paranormality, why we believe the impossible. And I don't know if you can get that on Amazon, but I got it for £4 in the crystal shop. And actually, there's a picture in this book, which kind of, there's a lot of symbols in this that sort of trick your mind. Oh, how to summon a spirit. I'll go into it in another video. There's 2 diagrams there, right? And you have to stare at them. And then when you look up the ceiling, there's an apparition on your ceiling. So, at some stage I will go through that as well, What? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm grateful that people, say thanks for the information and all the rest of it. At the end of the day, it's only me trying to learn myself. I'm in the learning process. Yes, I'd done it years ago, but I didn't do very much of it, to be honest with you. And I abandoned the research. But, I did get a small experience of it in a way. But, yeah, there's a lot of information in those books. So, the reason why, I'm talking about Anabela Cordoso is they're very, very, it's very, very hard to find good research videos on YouTube. Good, honest research videos without the person having other intentions. When you see these videos, the intention is to educate people and show people how to do ITC and get EVPs and get direct radio voices and stuff like that. And it's not for attention for themselves. It's genuine educational stuff. You'll see people like Mr. Huff, who will self-glorify himself and that. It's not with these other people. These other researchers, they're very humble, and very often you won't even find them on YouTube. So, and that is another sort of avenue to sort of go down. But I just thought I would show you them books. People are interested in ITC. Yeah, and as I said earlier on, for the life of me, I don't know why people are running, that go out in investigations and go, oh, let's do an EVP, and it's just a tiny little part of it. And yes, I might be calling the kettle, I might be the pot calling the kettle black because I've done it myself. But that's the influence that is around us and that. But, sometimes you have to question every single method. And I questioned the method of people saying, ask 2 or 3 questions and leave 20 minutes or 20 seconds between each question and leave it short. Just record for a couple of minutes and that. But you're doing an investigation for a couple of hours. Why would you only record for a minute or 2? And I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. Is this method in a way because people are too lazy to go through a couple of hours of audio? Because I work with another group. They have recorders all over the place. We go into Cumber House or we go into Sharon Rectory and that. There's recorders left all over the place. And when it comes to reviewing the evidence, it takes weeks and that. But that's, to me, when I started working with them, that's when I started questioning people method of let's do an EVP. It's just the way that they were doing it, just leaving the recorders on, means they were casting a bigger net, because you don't know when you're going to capture an EVP. And if you're only recording for a minute, you've only got a minute to catch an EVP, if you know what I mean. So to me, I don't think that when you see ghost hunters going out, and sometimes the recorder's an afterthought. Oh, let's do an EVP. Oh, and then the other thing is too, to do the EVP session, right? They'll ask the questions and let's listen back. Oh, I don't think we got anything there. When they're listening back. But there's the size of the little speaker. You cannot review an EVP on site. You have to bring it home and put it in your computer and enhance, and sometimes you do a lot of work sometimes to get an EVP out. You can't just review a thing. Oh, we didn't get anything there, so let's delete that. When there could be an EVP barely noticeable by the ear, and they're putting all their faith into a tiny little speaker that's only designed for you to check to see if it's working properly, sort of thing. It's not for you can't go to an investigation and be out in the environment and listen back and even putting the headphones on. You need to bring it home and put it in your software and that. I'm having a flipping rant today, am I? I'm letting off steam. But these are the things. I watched Ghost Hunters before and I was taken in by it and I started doing it. But then when I started working with these people, Peninsula Paranormal, where they would put these recorders around and they would just leave them. And then they would take a long time before they would release a video, because they've been going through evidence for a long time, a couple of weeks maybe, That's made me question, why are people doing this, Ask 1 or 2, 3 questions and that. You're casting a wider net by just recording as much as you can. When you're going through an investigation, go in there, that's your information gathering. Gather as much information as you possibly can and then take it home and then go through it, So the more recording you do, the more information you bring home with you. Yes, it's work. It's hard work. But I've often said that most of the investigation is sitting in your office at home, listening to audio and looking at visuals and stuff. It's not actually the investigation. The investigation, going to the place and going to the location and, having your camera, filming, trigger object devices and stuff like that, reaction from trigger object devices, it's only a little part of it, So, that's why, that's why my mind had sort of changed. We go to the location now, we try to bring back as much information as we can. And that's where the investigation, in a way, starts when you go home, So, yeah. I've blabbered on enough. Anyway, all those books that you see that I showed you there, they're all available on Amazon. It goes into a lot more detail on ITC and the role of noise, background audio support, which I didn't know anything about until I seen Anabela Cordoso's channel, where they use, instead of just recording straight off a recorder, which a lot of ghost hunters do, they have background audio support, which the spirits use to make their voice heard in a way. Very, very interesting stuff. That information changed a lot about my thinking about EVP. But EVP is to me is a thing that's you're going to most likely capture over visuals. But visuals and EVP are the two most important things. I'm gonna go because I'm at the risk of repeating myself. So yeah, I'm gonna put a link in the description to Anabela Cardoso's channel. She's got about 7 videos there. They're not very long, but very, very down to earth, wealth of information, and easy to understand. Very easy to understand. And I hope she continues doing them because they're just a wealth of information. Folks, I am gonna go. I'll see you in the next video.